but I will shoot the war in Bosnia. I will make a movie called Bosna with my friend Alain Ferrari, who is not here, and with my friend Gilles Herzog, who is here. I spent months of my life in Bosnia trying to report, trying to bear testimony about this terrible bloodbath, slaughter in the heart of Europe which happened in Bosnia. Of course, I will do it again with my same friend Gilles Herzog and with my friend Marc Roussel, who is here today, when we made a movie about Libya, The Oath of Tobruk, 3 years ago. Very strange adventure, very odd enterprise for a philosopher to commit himself during 1 year in the battlefields of Ashdabia, in the bombed city of Misrata, and to do a movie out of that. But at this time, when we shot Oath of Tobruk, when we shot Bosna, dices were rolling already. Dices were rolling, and I was in the mood. My life was made out of the two threads of philosophical reflection on one side, and closing myself from time to time during long periods in the ivory tower of my books, and from time to time, as if it were another time, War of Libya, forgotten wars for newspapers, Le Monde and others, and so on. But Bangladesh, it was the first time. I did not have even the idea at this moment to write a book. The book, I wrote it long after, not on the spot. When I came back in France, I thought that I knew enough, I had experience enough or too much not to bear testimony, that I had to. It is not completely, there were a few other books at this time, one or two others, even in French, but I thought that what I saw, what I reflected out of what I saw, yes, deserved, but afterwards, when I replied to the call of André Malraux, when I came to see André Malraux, when I wrote to André Malraux, there is recently, the archivist of André Malraux recently found the letter which I wrote to André Malraux in the archives of André Malraux about Bangladesh, and he found the remarks handwritten by André Malraux on my letter, asking to give me appointment, blah, 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 and so on. I will give that, I will give it to Olivier Litvin, and maybe he will release that in his newsletter of Alliance Française. So I was just a young student without any project of writing a book, of going to TV or delivering a lecture or whatsoever. When I reacted to the call of Malraux, when I wrote to Malraux, and when I replied to the reply of André Malraux, and when I came in Bangladesh. So what was at work? What was at stake in my mind? And if I ask this question, it's first of all because you asked me, but it is also because what I'm going to tell you now goes far beyond myself, far beyond my case. I think that I will, replying to your question, I will draw the picture probably of a generation of French intellectuals, French philosophy, French philosophers. At this time, beginning of the 70s, you had the choice when you were a young philosopher between a few possible attitudes. The first attitude was the attitude of a famous philosopher. You know him here in this faculty, Louis Althusser. Louis Althusser was my master. He taught me most of the philosophy I know. He even taught me how to read a text, how to enter in the philosophical text. And the theory of Althusser was that in order to commit, you had to discommit. In order to involve,